What's up, guys? Whew. Definitely not a green screen. Thumbs up if you're in the chat. Let me know what's going on. Let me make sure the Wi-Fi is good. What's up, Chess Devil? Chess Devil, how's the connection? How's the Wi-Fi doing today? Where are you? Chess Devil, can you hear me okay? Connection is fine, good. Where am I? I'm at the same place I always stream. I'm at the house. We just had snow. It's a snow day. It's kind of pretty, right? It's a very pretty day. Very pretty snow day. Green screen? No, no green screen. Does that look like a green screen? No. Real snow. Real snow. That's real snow in the background. You can see. Hey, what's up? Real snow. Yeah, we had some snow, so I figured, wouldn't it be cool to have like a little stream where I had snow in the background when I talk to you guys? So yeah, not a green screen. I'll show you guys. Real snow, real snow. Oh, it does look pretty, absolutely. That's why if you're in the chat and you appreciate the time that I'm taking to come in here and show you this beautiful, awesome snow in the background, you have no reason. Oh, there goes the light. Woo! If you're in here and you're watching, you have no reason not to give me a thumbs up for exposing this beautiful snow to you. And now we have our American flag up there. You can see over there. So yes, hello. It looks gorgeous. It looks so gorgeous it seems fake. Yeah, it's not. It's no green screen, you can see. Yeah, I don't know how to prove that it's not a green screen other than, look, it looks real. Give yourself a thumbs up. Hi from Dublin. Hello, Dublin. Looks so gorgeous. 10 out of 10, handsome sir. Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. Let's keep it professional, though. I do have young viewers that come in, so no crazy stuff, but hey, you know, I like a compliment. I like a compliment from time to time. You know, I gotta at least be so. I'm not always the smartest, so maybe I'm good looking. One of the two. All right. Hi from Della. Adam Sandler. You're not cool unless you pee in your pants. You're not cool unless you pee in your pants. Shout out to Adam Sandler. Great movie. Hi. What if I hate America? Well, I can't change what you hate in life, Anthony. If you hate America, that's your own opinion. Who am I to judge what you do and don't like in life? But maybe if you talk to me, you can realize not all Americans are crazy savages, and you know, maybe you can be my friend, you know. So it is what it is. Hey mate, what's up? Blaze. Are you a beaver face boy? I don't know what that means. And as far as blazing, I don't drink or smoke. So no. I actually, on my channel, I talk about sobriety a lot. So I think if you don't drink and you don't smoke, that's a better way to live. That's my own opinion. Do what you want, but I promise you this, not drinking and not smoking and committing to self-discipline, stuff that I talk about on my channel, is something that has always helped me when I'm trying to help young men and women and mentorship and all that. But guys, it's Sunday out here. Let me know in the chat. What are you guys up to? What are you doing? How much, bro, I pay a lot for this one punch? How much, bro, I lay a lot? I don't know what that means. Yeah, you're fine, that's for sure. I appreciate that. Georgia, yeah, we are in the state of Georgia. Yes, we are. Georgia had a snowstorm. So I was like, hey, wouldn't it be cool to go stream and for people who love snow to come out here and just have a stream in the middle of the snow? I just think that would be kind of cool. So here we are. How much, bro, I pay for like one punch? Nah, I'm not going to punch you, man. Nah, I'm not going to punch you. Where's your boyfriend? I do not have a boyfriend. I don't know, man. Where's your boyfriend, wizard? You are not ugly. Well, that's good. I do try to live a healthy lifestyle. No drinking, no smoking. I do physical activity every day, and I'm almost 40. So being close to 40 years old, hopefully those investments and good choices and trying to stay healthy, hopefully they pay some good dividends. You know what I'm saying? Next. Said hi. I think this is probably my 10th Georgia live. Georgia likes to stream and post. HIGR1. Well, yeah, I do like to stream because I'm trying to get monetized. And I just have a goal to get monetized and talk to you guys. It's kind of fun. I really enjoy talking to people. Every time I'm in the stream, I've got a collection of haters. Sometimes we have people from other countries, a lot of times. Sometimes they hate on me. Sometimes they're really rude. Sometimes they're nice. Sometimes we have mentorship opportunities. It's always an interesting time. I find it somewhat entertaining. You don't look probably like in your early 30s. Nah, I'm close to 40, man. I'm about to turn 40. So, about to turn to big old 40. Yes, yes, yes. So, there you go. Send him 1 to 2 years to Dakistan and forget, Loki. Well, you know, I have friends that wrestle, and I've been known to wrestle a little bit. I like the roughhouse. I really like to wrestle, and, you know, if you're a guy, you know, it's nothing like taking your friends and throwing them around and putting a little rear naked choke on them, getting your friend to do a little tap from time to time. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm from Thailand. Your country has gone to shit. Well, nothing that is strong ever stays strong without going through some adversity. So I believe that there is definitely some rooms for improvement in my country, but every country has room to improvement. The biggest thing is that you're making steps forward in the right direction. I'm from Dallas, Georgia. Welcome in, Morgana. Trump loves Epstein. Okie dokie. You gonna build snowman? Nah, I'm not gonna build a snowman, man. What I'm probably gonna do is go play my piano today. I've got a little bit of office work to do, but I wanted to knock out at least an hour of a stream. I'm trying to do at least 1 hour in the morning and 1 hour in the evening. Build a snowman? Nah, man, I'm not gonna go build a snowman. Nah, I don't really want to do that. But I appreciate it. I tell you what, y'all get me to 100 thumbs ups and 100 likes and about 100 people in the chat, and then I'll go build a damn snowman. I think we're like in the 20s or 30s, something like that. I really don't like you, but I gave you a like. You don't like me, but you gave me a thumbs up. Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, you ain't got to like me, but maybe if you have a conversation, maybe I can grow on you, man. Maybe I can be a friend for you. If there's people that think it's a green screen, definitely not a green screen. Definitely not a green screen. You can see through here, all through there. We got a little rocking chair over there. We got the cats over here. Definitely not a green screen, but let me know where you're coming in. You said, shut up, man. Oh, man. You gonna tell me to shut up? Well, how am I gonna be talking? Look, how am I gonna talk on the stream if I shut up? That ain't gonna be very cool. How am I gonna talk to the people? How am I gonna get thumbs ups and say, don't forget to like, comment, and stress? Good morning, Clayton. I'm so glad I'm in South Florida. Runner 5K, you're in South Florida? Yeah. What y'all doing in South Florida? Let's see over here. What do you play on piano? Man, I just kind of play some original music. I like pop. I like a lot of pop music. I do like rock and roll. So sometimes I'll play the electric guitar and be like, I also like blues. I like boogie woogie. Staying away from the snow. Yeah, I feel you, man. This is like a coat I have that's kind of nice. It's one of my nicer coats. I never wear it ever. So I was like, hey, maybe I'll wear it for a stream to look festive. But yeah, Boogie Woogie on keys is nice. Yeah, so the Boogie Woogie, if you don't know, is a 1-3, 1-3-5-3, and you use the sixth. So the key is that sixth, and then with the right hand, you can just take a major triad and just add that sixth to it. And then I like to do a blues scale over it, or a jazz scale, like a 1 flat 3, 4 flat 5, 5, and then maybe a flattened seventh. I really like that type of music. Mr. Beast. I am not Mr. Beast, although it would be cool to have a channel that grew. Fun fact, me, the only one from the UK here, Wesley, UK, we need your skincare. You want my skincare routine? Big up to the UK if so. Yeah, by the way, UK, good luck. I know the UK and Europe has had a lot of infiltration and a lot of pain recently. I hope the UK stays safe. Jimmy, is that you? I wish it was. 50 acres in Oklahoma. Wow, Oklahoma, 50 acres. Thank you. I'm taking it, Ruben, you're a farmer maybe, or a rancher. Probably not a rancher in Oklahoma, but thank you. And I like it. Blink 3 times if you're okay. 1, 2, 3. Help me, guys. I'm stuck in the middle of a snowstorm in this beautiful area in Georgia. Help me. Nah, man. Jimmy who? Jimmy is Mr. Beast. Jimmy is the only billionaire that I know of in my age category, like ish in my, although I'm older than him. Jimmy was the only self-made billionaire, and he did it through YouTube, making videos. Absolutely insane. You teach yourself. You're looking like that boy from Subway Surfers turned 40. I don't even know what Subway Surfers are. Okay, hopefully that's a compliment, Chess Devil. Just for fun, like you. Howdy, Jimmy Who. You teach yourself. So, H1GRN. Yeah, so for me, I never had traditional piano lessons. I just started kind of fiddling around, and over time, I found stuff that I like that sounds good. And many times when I play my music, it's pretty simple. It's a very simple concept. I like to create little melodies and chords and make simple chord progressions. Sometimes I play for autistic kids. Sometimes I do some cocktail piano. Oh, there's that dog back. You guys are going to have to forgive me. There's a German Shepherd that keeps coming into the yard here, and I might have to get my BB gun and give him a little sting on the butt. Not to hurt him, just to kind of tell him, stay away from my chickens. Sometimes you gotta, kind of, I hate it, but this German Shepherd keeps trying to eat my chickens, and if he comes up to the yard, I'm gonna have to tag him with a little BB gun. Don't want to hurt him, don't want to kill him, just want to kind of sting him a bit and say, hey, maybe go somewhere else. Sad as that is, it is what it is, right? I used to go to school in Gwinnett County. Cool. You won't make any money doing this. Sorry. Oh, okay. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. You have dog or cat? We have cats. I like to have cats around the house and inside and outside because cats help with the pest control. So they eat any rodents and stuff. Cats are really good for that. Hello from Madison. Madison looks cold. Wisconsin. It's a little chilly for the South, but nothing crazy. There's a lot of other colder places. I just thought it would be cool for people to come in here. Cats are so, rest in peace, Renee Good. Renee Good, 11, whoo, -11 below right now. Now that is cold. Has anyone ever told you that you look like Renee Good? I don't even know who Renee Good is. So, no, who is Renee Good? I don't know who that is. I'd have to see a picture. Guys, I don't really watch a lot of TV. If I'm not doing streams, streaming is basically the time I spend watching TV, where other people will go watch movies and stuff. Oh, you're talking about that Renee Good. Oh. Oh, so you're saying that I look like a woman. Okay, well, that's fair. Cats are angry all the time and don't want to hang out. Well, maybe no. My cats, they follow me around like dogs. They hop up on my shoulders. Now, I've actually got a different experience. I think cats are really cool. If you raise cats young, they're very interactive. My cats follow me around. I give them little things of steak. They're really cool. Nah, they're cuddled up and they're in the corner. If they come up here and they feel like leaving, then, I'm not going to go disrupt them, Hello, how is your morning going? Sean, it's going well. Have you ever had grilled cat and tortillas with imported beer? No, I don't think so. I don't drink beer. Somebody asked earlier what my skincare routine is. Um, as far as my skincare routine is, I typically don't use soap. I don't use soap or shampoo. What I use oils and essential oils as my soap, and I don't really put a lot of chemicals on my body, so I don't use a lot of lotion. So basically, I just use like castor oil to keep my body just somewhat moisturized. But yeah, I don't really pay attention. I don't really have a exfoliating routine, or I was raised by women, so I understand that stuff. But I think more about your skin is just eliminating processed sugar. And every day I do calisthenics. I do push-ups and pull-ups, and I get a sweat going. And I think getting a sweat going, not drinking, not smoking, things like that, I think that affects my skin routine more than what I put on products. Because like I said, somebody gave me castor oil, and I use it like one time every when I remember to use it. But I think it's the processed sugar and the elimination of that. 42 people, all right, I would love to help you add cream in your coffee. All right, bucked up. You are going to be reported. I don't like people saying little weird sexual things in here. So reported, okay, and you are gone. Guys, I'm not in here in a chat to have people do that stuff. So you are going to be gone. Yeah, sometimes I have young kids that come into the channel and I don't want sexually explicit material. I have friends and family sometimes that come into this channel and they have kids. So uh, if you're going to be someone that's going to be sexually explicit, I'm going to report your IP address to pornography, and hopefully they ban your channel, because then if you make multiple accounts, you'll get that. Yes, it does. So, General Washington, I do have a job. I work for myself. I'm a salesperson. I do sales. I sell life insurance. So, and I'm a personal trainer. And yeah, that allows me to create residual income so I don't have to trade time for money. So if you're someone who has to trade time for money, then I would say I understand that, but find something where when you do work, you continue to get paid, which is what I recommend life insurance sells. And I work from an office in the backyard. So. Good game. Yes, I subbed to. He's cool guy. Yes, GG. How was your wife's? Uh, there we go. And George Washington, report pornography sexually explicit. Thank you very much. Reported. Gone. There we go. Got it. Inappropriate messages. Well, boom. Yes, I actually am divorced. So I have been married one time. And yes, we are divorced now. No plans of getting married again. Any of you young guys in the chat, I'll tell you this: uh, be careful who you marry. So that's all I'll say. I don't think wise men get married. Okay, you find and buy things that make money while you sleep. The hell with work. Yeah, Joe Mama. Yeah, so if you buy assets that appreciate, and we'll kind of talk because I do have a little bit of financial planning, experience in the past. Yeah, what you want to do is, for example, let's say there's this cup, and somebody gave me this cup. It was with Charlie Kirk. It's a Kirk for rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. So let's say I buy this cup for $20. Well, if if you're a business person, you can put money in the stock market. So every time somebody buys that cup, you make a little bit of money. So I believe in investing in the market, the S&P 500, the Dow Jones. I've had Apple and Tesla stock for over 8 years. The biggest thing is putting your money in things where it grows like a garden. It's like these little seeds, and over time they grow. Um, I'm finally going to get off my crappy 9 to 5 and commit fraud. I hate the job. Nah, you don't want to commit fraud, man. What you want to do is just get into insurance. Loser, get a job. NASDAQ. Yeah, QQQ, Jay. QQQ is where it's at. When anybody comes in and says, go get a job, it's always funny to me because, guys, you see where I live and you see the streams I'm doing. Maybe you should ask me, what do I do that gives me the time to commit this much time to YouTube? And maybe you could pick my brain and have someone who's actually a successful businessman who actually could show you how to create residual income. But that's okay. When the haters keep hating on me, I love it because you give me comments. It makes me smile. Business purses, spineless slug bottom feeder. Oh, wow. Great background. Whereas this is the backyard. So this is just a snow day. I'm just always curious. These people that come in here, they say all these things, and I'm just like, how how does anyone know anything about me would say something like that? It's just insane. It's like I already know that these people are doing nothing in their life because I've never met someone with that attitude that's ever accomplished anything in life. It's just so funny to me. Mom and dad are renting. Have you ever cupped your own fart? No, I have not ever cupped my own fart. I think that's kind of nasty personally. I don't think I'm into stuff like that. Okie dokie. Which state? I'm European, by the way. Oh, European. So we are in the southeast. We're down in the state of Georgia. From the UK. If you had $10,000 to invest in the market, what would you do? Steve, if I had $10,000 to invest in the market. Now, Steve, let me ask you a question. Why are you getting a divorce? That is not something I talk about on camera. Basically, me and my wife grew apart, so we decided to end our relationship. Um, let's see. Investing is very important. I'm 60, fully retired, thanks to investing early in my life. Interesting. Even if you must go. Yeah, so Titan Brew. So thank you, Titan Brew. Yeah, so Titan Brew. Maybe you can enter the chat and say, yeah, you're 60. Yeah. So my grandfather was a Vietnam veteran in the Army, and I'm a third generation. I was a sailor for 10 years, and enduring freedom, fought for the United States of America for 10 years. And one of the things that he taught me was that you should always own the things that other people buy. And look, you don't have to be that smart to invest in the market. If you're in this chat and you know absolutely nothing, absolutely nothing about investing, all you need to do is invest money into an index fund. I'm not saying that's the best strategy, but if you just put money into an index fund and over time, dollar cost average, because timing the market is pretty much impossible. Yes, you can find patterns, but you never know what's going to happen. If you continue to invest into the market over time with an index fund and you put a little money in each week, you're going to dollar cost average. That dollar cost average is going to create residual income in the future and have a few dividend stocks. One of your dividend stocks, one of the dividend stocks that I recommend is an O Realty, and it pays a monthly dividend. So you want to have stocks that pay dividends, and then whenever you do business, you want to do a type of business where you can create residual income. So I recommend insurance. Lots of people are looking for insurance policies every day, and I'm licensed by the state. So I can call people, not have to leave my office, see if they qualify, have a good conversation, and a lot of times, yeah, work on vehicles. You can work on vehicles, but the thing is, when you work on vehicles, you're always going to trade time for money. You're always going to have a job, and you can always find work, absolutely. But you're not going to be wealthy working on vehicles. You're not. You're not going to be wealthy trading time for money. You can make money, you can be comfortable, you can have a skill set, you can help people, absolutely. I would say work on vehicles and then take the money that you make and then invest it. And instead of buying what most people do, which is toys and beers and alcohol or women, whatever people do, take that money and then put it into the market and have that money grow and then create an estate. And then once you create an estate, you can make an S Corp, you can make a Z Corp, you can incorporate, then you can hire your family, you can put your family on salary, and you can deduct their salary off your taxes. You could do something like that, but this right here is good man talking about facts. Robert, appreciate that. Yeah, anybody who's older than me and has actually established themselves and built an estate, they're going to know what I'm saying is true because I'm not that smart. I've had good mentors, and I learned the hard way when I was younger. I was like, wow, the older I got, the more this type of stuff really started to make sense for me. Let me plug this light back in. So, yeah, it's absolutely true. Yeah, it's absolutely true. That's how it works, man. In my humble opinion, I've never met. I mean, you can buy gold, you can buy silver, but I'm not a big fan of gold and silver to have in large quantities. And I'm not saying it's bad, but they're not producing anything. I think a farm or buying land or buying pieces of companies that produce things. See, silver and gold only go up and down based on, I'm not saying don't buy it. I mean, maybe 15% of your portfolio. But in my humble opinion, they don't produce anything. They just sit there and they get value based on fear. And I'd rather invest in assets that produce something like a farm. Uh, I wouldn't say a pure commodity. I would say any company that you can see growing revenue and producing something, you can gauge what it's worth if you break it down. But that's my opinion. I still have some precious metals, some silver and stuff. Yeah, you can't eat metal, right? And he who controls the food controls the common man. I'm happy for you and want to thank you for teaching this to the people. You're very well, Robert. You're very welcome. Very welcome, Robert. Yeah, and one of the things I tell you guys, this is very true. Wherever you are, I really want to be. We're in the state of Georgia. So, what we got? We're in the state of Georgia over here. So, we had the sheriff coming in. Wonder what he's doing. Laugh out loud. Cold in your neck of the woods. Well, it's definitely not cold. The sheriff's going down to this. I bet, you know what? I bet he's looking for those German shepherds because these German shepherds have been coming around the area. I'm going to bet he's looking for those German shepherds. Why, you are cute. Thank you. Looks cold in your area. Why are all the billionaires buying land now? Answer all your questions. Well, if you're going to demand that, then I'm just going to ignore your question because you're being rude. Hey, everyone. Good morning, everyone watching from Tennessee. Game Changer, good morning. Hope you're having a good time in Tennessee. You're not too far away from me. I do music, and I'm very, very creative, painting, and also collect. 1/4 scale making. I'm related to Eminem on the Scottish side. That's awesome, dude. Invest in land, always good. Always good to invest in things that there's not going to be more of. Yeah, land's a great investment every time. If you're going to invest in real estate and rental properties, invest in rental properties, pay off the properties with rental income when the properties increase. Oh yeah, that's a great, yeah, flip. I think Titan Brew's got it right on the head. Invest in rental properties. You invest in the property, you have the renters pay, rinse and repeat, absolutely great. Carol in England, what's up? Rude must have voted for Biden. No. But if someone comes into the chat and they're like, answer all my questions, that's just rude to me. It's like, look, there's like 29 people in the chat. Why do you get the deserve to go up to the top of the front of the line? I'm reading other people's chats, man. I'll get to your thing eventually. Sorry, man. Sorry, man, have leave chat, no disrespect, but you're not answering lots of questions. That's fine. I'm not asking you to, asking you to stay in my chat. You can leave. I don't care if you stay here or not. There's plenty of people to talk to. The world's not about you, brother. Well, what's the topic? We're talking about lots of things. So on my channel, it's Mind, Music, and Muscle. I like to talk about philosophy. I like to talk about religion. I like to talk about tough things. Right now, we're talking about investing and how one person was asking, like, if you put $10,000 in, what would you do with it? We're talking about rental property. We have some diverse group of people in here. So with a little bit of ADHD on my brain, I'll try to get to everything I can. So I said answer all your questions. I didn't answer you. Yeah. Okay, he doesn't care about you. Figure it out. Well, well, this thing is, if you come into the chat and you're just like, answer all your questions and you start demanding and stuff like that, it's just like, I'm just going to ignore you. Why don't you be polite, be in the chat, be like, hey, I'm from here. Hey, what do you think about this? And then realize that I'm trying to answer everyone's questions. So it's just someone that has that's just a narcissist. Never try to make chicken salad. I might in a second. I might, if someone keeps spamming, I don't just block. I do different stuff. I want that snow. So rental is great if you want to take advantage of an overpriced market because of the issues. I can see that. I want the snow in Virginia. It's not snowing in Virginia. Yeah, we're in Georgia, so we definitely have some beautiful snow. Absolutely. Okie dokie. Where are you from? We're from the southeast. Southern storm. Yeah, it looks like throughout the south we had a cold front, and yeah. Wow, snows like that in Georgia? Yeah, not typically. It hasn't snowed like this. We get cold fronts. We have humidity. You know what I'm saying? That person was one of those. Me. Everyone look at me and listen. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Hey, Robert. I already know 100%. I already know. 100%, Robert. Why are you outside? That's a great question. I'm outside because I did a little stream where I have a little light up right here. And I simply, basically, I just wanted to do a stream outside to have the snow in the background. I just thought it would be a good idea. That was all. I just thought it's pretty cool scenery. You know, a lot of times I'm in my little office with OSB board everywhere, and we have the sheriff coming out through here. I'm guarantee you, I think he's looking for those German Shepherd dogs. As a practicant psychiatrist, I see we have a lot to unpack here. Asmongold outside, is that all your land? This is family property, and yes, I have share in it. The way we do it in our family is we acquire a little bit of land, and then we split it amongst the family, and each of us have a share in it. And if something happens and you need to make some quick cash, you could sell a piece, but instead of selling it to someone outside, you sell it to someone in the family. So even if you sell a piece of your land or something, you keep it within the family, because once you own land, you never want to get rid of it. Colorado has 0 snow. Why do people camp and move in bear country without powerful guns? Oh, I don't know, man. I would, me personally, I don't think I would, I personally don't think that I would want to go without a gun. There goes the sheriff. I'm pretty sure the sheriff is looking for those German Shepherds. I bet that German Shepherd, let me just double check that shepherd didn't go to my chickens. I just want to double check that. I'm going to take you guys with me. I just want to verify that that German Shepherd didn't eat my chicken. If he comes into the yard, I'm probably going to pop him in the butt with a BB. I don't want to hurt the guy, but if he decides to try to hurt my German Shepherd, if he decides to eat my chicken, or he's not going to eat my chickens, but he's going to, that German Shepherd keeps trying to get in. The sheriff is coming for me? Nah, man. Sheriff ain't coming for me. I don't really break the law. About the only thing you might see me do is if someone, you see, there's the chickens right there. You see the chickens right there? There's a good view outside. Typically, I'm in there, guys. When you see me streaming, I'm typically in there. But my chickens are out there. And I just want to make sure that that shepherd didn't come. All right. There we go. Let's see. Nah, just send the women in right there. They would rather pick the bear fight, so they would send them in the woods first. Uncle James, I'm doing well. How are you? Doing well. Doing well. I'm doing better than I deserve. Okie dokie. Anyways, what you guys got? Should I go back out into the snow? I about halfway thought about, you know what I think I'm gonna do? I got some fresh eggs, and I think I'm gonna put some bacon and eggs on real quick. And then I'm gonna have some bacon and eggs cooking, and then I'm gonna go back outside. But I kind of feel like a bacon and eggs type of morning, you know what I'm saying? Anybody else love bacon and eggs, or is it just me? Does anybody else love bacon and eggs, or is that just me? Let's see real quick. Yeah, definitely going to be a bacon and eggs type of day. There we go. We'll put that there. Bacon, eggs, and some butter. Butter, bacon, and eggs. Is there anything better for breakfast than bacon, eggs, and coffee? Guys, I'm about to be right there back into the chat. I just decided to put some bacon and eggs on real quick. Getting a little bit hungry. This stream sometimes gets me hungry. Let me look into the chat. Yes, I do. Have a great day. I'll catch you later. Who don't love bacon and eggs? Yes, yes, yes. I'm going to head to the sauna. Absolutely. Absolutely. Sounds good. Definitely still looking into the chats. I'm addicted to McDonald's steak bagels. Yeah, I'll tell you this, the McDonald's steak bagels, I've eaten those before. Back in the day when I was doing a lot of bodybuilding back in the day. I used to be a pretty large man. Now I'm only 220, but I kind of enjoy being leaner. I can tell you firsthand my experience, and God bless, these are the eggs from the chicken, fresh eggs from the chicken. I don't have my own pigs, so I can't really, I don't have my own pigs, so I can't have my own fresh bacon, but I do have fresh eggs. And I just absolutely love bacon and eggs. That is my favorite thing to eat. Especially for breakfast, bacon, eggs, and coffee. Ooh wee. So we do have the snow outside, guys. I'm gonna be back outside. I'm just gonna get this going, and then I'm gonna reduce the heat. Pop me a couple eggs down here. I got some butter on there. I'll throw a little bit of this Spam on there. I know it's chemicals, but whatever. All right. Crack, crack, crack. Egg in. Crack, crack, crack. Another egg. So my breakfast will be four to five eggs, and I usually eat I eat 10 eggs a day. People ask me how I lost 100 pounds. I eat a bunch of eggs, dude. I love eggs. Eggs are one of the most delicious things on the planet. Eggs, eggs, eggs. And then I save my eggshells. You can see, guys. I save my eggs. So in case you guys don't know, I save my eggshells and I put them into a compost. So, there we go. We'll take that off for a second. I save my eggs and I put them into a compost bin. I take this compost bin and I take it out to my other big one, which is a tourney out there. That black one, and I take that, and then I use my greenhouse to keep everything as, kind of operating. So I reuse a lot of the foods and scraps, feed them to the chickens. I've got some raised garden beds that are going to do really good this year. So hopefully that soil ends up producing pretty good this year. 45 eggs is too many. 45 eggs is too many and half a pound of bacon. Yeah, but I can do 30 pull-ups at once. Yeah, but you got to remember, I eat a lot of fat and protein early in the day. And then my snacks are typically fruits like bananas and berries. But my first meal is going to be a heavy protein and fat meal. And that's going to keep me satiated and keep my blood stable sugar for about 6 hours, 6 to 7 hours. So if I'm gonna do a lot of calisthenics later. I'm gonna go into the gym, which is in a shed out here, and I'm gonna do hundreds of pull-ups and hundreds of dips. So this is what I eat about an hour or so before I do that. And I can tell you, my body runs hella good off bacon and eggs. I know people who make a protein smoothie with artificial, pasteurized, high-heated protein powder, and they say that's good for you, and yet I have fresh eggs from my chickens, bacon from a local farmer using butter, and they're telling me that's not good for you. Guys, atherosclerosis is not caused by too much. Now you can get atherosclerosis from eating bad fats, but the sugar in the processed sugar is what kills people. Look at the boomers generation. Look at how strong those dudes are. And all they did was eat bacon and eggs, dude. Anyways, that's my opinion. So now we're just going to let this sit. And then I also have this. This is homemade sourdough toast. So I'll take a big old loaf of homemade sourdough toast. I'll take this sucker and I'll cut it up into small pieces. This was fermented with real flour, It was milled by my friend who I train her. She made it for me on, and I let that suck up all the bacon grease. So all that is going to be my breakfast. And yeah, works really good, guys. Works really good. The thing is, everybody thinks nutrition is so complicated. It's not. It's about eating real whole food. It doesn't matter if it's carbs, proteins, fats, whatever. You want real whole food. Don't drink and smoke a lot. And that's how I lost 100 pounds. I kind of eat whatever I want. And I don't drink, don't smoke, and don't eat processed sugar. I mean, I might eat some processed sugar every now and then, like if the family has it. But that's what kills you, man. It's all the processed sugar. It's all the processed sugar that hurts us, I think. By the way, there's the snow. You see the snow outside? I am going to go back outside here in a second. French toast. TV is horrible. TV is horrible. I don't know what TV is. French toast, making America great again. Rest in peace. Oh yeah, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. Absolutely. God, I'm not even religious. I don't go to church. I'm not religious at all. But even I can say, hey, Charlie Kirk, I got a cup outside. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. I was a friend of Charlie, I was a fan of Charlie Kirk because he spoke very well. And although I didn't agree with every one of his points, how dare somebody try to kill someone just for speaking? That was a family, that was a father, that was a leader of the community. I'm actually kind of pissed that we haven't had Trump, pursue that further, because that was kind of really sad. That was a very sad day. Rest in peace, but not where we fell. We had pancakes this morning with real real Canadian maple syrup. Yeah, man. I use honey. I don't have any real maple syrup from Canada, but ooh-wee, that stuff is good. Real maple syrup from a tree. Hoo-wee. Boy, that stuff's good. Absolutely. I got real honey, so I use honey instead of that other stuff. Some of that bullshit in the store, ugh. I look at the ingredients, it ain't even real syrup, man. They didn't try, he succeeded. Well, not really, because once Charlie Kirk got killed, Turning Point actually grew in following. So all they did was put fire on it. But that's what he said about didn't care, agreed if he said he didn't want to listen to people. I like Mrs. Buttersworth. Well, look, Mrs. Buttersworth is going to taste okay, I guess, but for me, it's just there's something in it that doesn't taste like real syrup to me. I don't know. To each their own. Killing isn't the answer, but being killed doesn't make you a good person. Well, sure, that was my whole point. I just think that in our country, the United States is founded on the ability to have free speech. So that goes for both sides. So if you don't agree with someone, you have the right to, that person still has the right to say what they want. But, when you kill someone just because you don't like what they say, that's when there's a problem. And that's all I'll say about that. Hey, Chris, Never Loser Rick, why do Americans use brown sugar syrup and honey and everything? It's horrible. Well, me personally, I don't use sugar. I use honey because honey is a great carbohydrate. So I use honey because I love honey. And yeah. I don't know why, man. I don't know why other people eat what they eat, but I eat because I train a lot. I don't really lift weights, but I do a lot of calisthenics. And eggs and then bacon and then some fresh sourdough bread. That's real bread, actually made from my friend. She uses all organic flour. She mills everything. She gives me lots of sourdough toast. That bacon, eggs, and then honey is absolutely delicious. So if you don't like it, that's fine. But just because you don't like something, remember, the worst form of blindness is thinking that your perspective is the only reality. So different people have different perspectives. So yeah, everybody's going to eat different things, man. And if you want to go around and say, why do people do this? Why do people do that? I don't know, man. You're probably going to be pretty miserable in your life. But honey is really good. Honey is a good carbohydrate. I'll give you that. Honey is an amazing carbohydrate. Honey has a good ratio of glucose and fructose. And yeah, so now we're going to cut this off, let this sit, and we're done. So even during stream, that is how quick I can cook breakfast. Now this is going to sit. Eggs are perfect. We'll put that in there. A little bit of grease in there. So we're going to put the Dawn soap. Let that rinse. And then we're going to go back outside. I'm going to talk to you guys outside in the snow. Okie dokie. Then we got the clothes washing. We got that up there. Family stuff's over there. Rocking and rolling this morning. Very good. Next. Next. All right, guys. By the way, people ask me, why am I streaming? Well, I'm streaming as an experiment to try to get monetized. Right, but that's not true. You said bread in America is not bread in Ireland is more cake than bread. Well, you assume that all bread is the same. That is not true. If you're talking about the bread in the stores, yes, but I don't buy bread from the stores. My bread doesn't come from the store. My bread comes from a family that's been making bread for over, 40, 50 years? So, yeah, I would not recommend eating the processed bread in the store, but that's not bread. What I would recommend is getting a baker or having a friend like I do, and they get their own flour, they mill it, they do their own, what do you call it? You want to come up here, buddy? Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Come on. They make their own starter. They prep it, they make it rise, they make it peak, and then they cut it, and they make real bread. So there's nothing wrong with real bread with real ingredients. The problem is most of that bread that you get in the stores is not real bread. Now, I would agree with you on that, but I don't eat that unless I had to survive. Which in the past, I grew up real poor, so I used to have to live off all sorts of bad food. And, when you have the ability to not have to do that, I recommend doing it if you can. Invest in your health and you feel better. I want cake, French cake. Bro's the bread man. I'm not the bread man, but my friends that give it to me, I'm telling you, she makes the best sourdough bread. It is the best. It is got a unique flavor. It's real bread. It is so yummy, and it's real bread. And it doesn't really make you fat. It doesn't really make you feel bad. It's just a yummy, yummy food. Are you Jesus? Am I Jesus? I don't think so. Definitely not. You work at an ice cream shop? Why do you think I work in an ice cream shop? Because I'm wearing this hat. No, this is one of my friends' businesses. My friends who own businesses give me stuff and I wear them. You'll definitely get monetized, man. I just saw a button of a bunch of other people doing absolutely nothing, interacting with the chat. Keep up what you're doing. Oh, thank you, Trump. Thank you, President Trump. I appreciate you for taking time. Absolutely. I'm actually going to become monetized. If all the channels could become monetized, my channel would be the absolute best. There's nothing no one can monetize like, nothing can monetize like my channel. Nothing can monetize. No one's going to interact I'm not even trying to sell you anything. And I'm not even trying to sell you anything, but we will try to become monetized. Absolutely. Why are you sitting outside? Okay, good question. So it was snowing today, and we have all of this right here. And essentially, I wanted to do a stream with the snow in the background. So typically I'm in different environments, and yeah. So you gotta forgive me. I'm looking for this German Shepherd dog. There's 2 German Shepherds, and I don't want them to hurt my cats or my chickens. So if you see me looking around randomly, sometimes I hear stuff moving in the woods, and I'm like, are y'all coming back? Because I got my BB gun over there in the corner. I'm going to pop him in the butt. I'm going to pop him in the butt. Not kill him, not hurt him, just kind of give him a little sting to say, hey, you got to go somewhere else. Now, homemade bread is the best, true. You need a big bay window installed. I'm your guy. For sure, man, I appreciate that. I do have a group of people that I typically hire. They're good family-oriented people, and they have like 3 or 4 kids, But if I ever need one, I will keep you in mind. Thank you for you. Facts, homestead bread is the best. Oh, without a doubt. Kmart, Mr. Beast. The Kmart. See, that's funny. Negro, knee grows and burritos. Just keep it somewhat appropriate if you can, brother. Sometimes I have younger viewers that come in and I try to keep it family oriented. But hey, I would be the Walmart or the Temu or the Amazon Mr. Beast, especially because being anything associated with Jimmy would probably allow for good monetization. I'll take whatever I can get when it comes to being monetized because right now we're at 2,200 of the 3,000 hours that we need. And I have been streaming now I did videos for a little bit and none of them really took off. My best video was like only 985,000 views. And that's not really enough to have one video to do that. It wasn't until I started streaming that the statistics, every time I stream, it does this. So I'm trying to continue to stream, and I can say firsthand, it is a very difficult process. I didn't realize how much time and effort it took to stream and talk to people and follow up. It's definitely tougher than I anticipated, but mama didn't raise no quitter. You know what I'm saying? So I'm doing my best to continue to try to become monetized, and I'm trying to do it with streaming and, you know, being around you guys. There we go. There we go. Not too bad out here. What in your life humbled you to this day? That's a good question. Have you ever watched Heated Rivalry? I don't think so. I don't really watch a lot of TV. You look like the friend I hang out with ones and ignore his calls because he is too much. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Thank you for that. I'll take your compliment. That means you're going to remember me. Anytime more people can remember you, whether it's for the good or bad, that is good, whether you're famous or infamous. Do you own a snow cone business? No, I do not. This is a hat from one of the local businesses, and any local businesses that are owned by cool people or people that I get along with, I wear merchandise from them. I get stuff from all sorts of business owners, and I tell them, hey, give me a hat and I'll wear it on the stream, and they'll give me a free hat. I'll say, hey, if you give me a shirt, I'll wear it on the stream. So in one way, it's a way to get free clothes. And in another way, it's a way to, get some clout for them. He's got this guy is dangerous. He's got a high IQ. I don't know about that. Keep it appropriate. You look like a rich hobo. I've been called worse by better. Hey, Loki, here's a comeback. I've been called worse by better. I like your jacket. Looks fancy. Yeah, I got this at a Goodwill for, this one I think I got for $5 at a Goodwill. So my entire outfit cost me, I don't know, $7. And family friendly, you do. Are you 40? I'm about to turn 40. Yeah, I'm really close to turning 40. I like the way you deflect. You like the way I deflect? Bam, that's the old boxer in me. I got to bob and weave. Throw the jab. Watch out for the hook. I used to do some boxing, so I'm used to kind of deflecting and bouncing. It's all right, man. Appreciate that. You got to stay moving. Remember, a body in motion stays in motion. A body in motion stays in motion. Don't forget to bob and weave. Pop, 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 pop. Bro, what? That jacket looks, I got it like $5 at a Goodwill. That's what I mean. Like, I've been shopping at Goodwills my whole life, and all I do, so here's the thing. Let's say you have a wardrobe, and look, I do have nice clothes that if I need to put a nice pea coat, I know how to tie a tie, I know how to dress to look appropriate, if the time is appropriate. But typically, 90% of the time, what I wear is clothes that are comfortable. Now, let's say you have a wardrobe, and instead of spending $4,000 on your wardrobe, you only spent $1,000 or $500. Well, that extra money you can put into the stock market, or you can buy products to flip. Like, you can take that extra money and you can turn it into stuff. I'm not a big believer in paying full price for cars. I'm not a big believer in paying full price for food. Unless you get really good quality food from farmers, then maybe. But I'm always about looking for deals. You want to be able to like always find deals. And that's just the way my mind works. I know I read a book that was written with Mark Cuban in it, and Mark Cuban said the millionaire's mindset or the billionaire's mindset is when you see toothpaste on sale and you can get a year's worth of toothpaste for 60% off, you buy it up front and then you don't have to buy toothpaste anymore. The poor person, what they're going to do is they're going to buy toothpaste at a premium rate every time they go to the store week after week. And over the time, they're going to spend 6,000% more on toothpaste than they are than the other person. Now, that's just toothpaste. But if you do that with everything, then what you realize is things that you can fix, things that you can do yourself, things that you can buy in bulk, all that is going to leave you with extra dispensable income. And what you can do is you can take that and you can either buy things, you can go on trips, sure, or you can reinvest it into the market and try to get it to grow more money. Same, MAGA detected. MAGA detected. Looks like outside where I am in Michigan, go MAGA. Well, I mean, I fought for the United States for close to 10 years in the United States Navy. I served during the time of war. I do not want my country to fail. Look, the United States is not perfect. There's lots of things that we don't do right, but what other country does everything right? What person does everything right? There's mistakes everywhere. But if you're a part of a country, you should do your best to defend it. And we have been doing pretty good, and we're two-time World War champions. So, you got to make America great again, baby. You got to stay strong. I mean, this is a dog-eat-dog world. If you're just a pure humanitarian, and you just think people are going to love on each other and just, I love you and you love me. I wish the world was like that. Hell, I play piano and I wish every day and I try to focus on that, but that's not how the world works, guys. There's savage people that want to kill you just because you're an American, right? That's just how the world is. So what you got to do is you got to make sure you're strong, make sure you stay fit, make sure you own some guns, and, be able to protect yourself. Protect yourself, man, at all times. It doesn't mean you're a butthole. You just got to stand strong in what you believe. There's nothing worse in society than a weak man who can't stand up for what he or she, or a weak woman who can't stand up for what they believe. That is not what we were working towards. All right. Chris, do I time out the haters? Give them a warning. Can we build a world of love? Well, I wish we could, man. I think if we could get everyone to just do some music and play some music and nod their heads, I think the world would be a better place. But it's just, that's not how the world works, man. I've traveled. I've been around the world. Everywhere you go, there's lots of good people, but there's just for some reason, there's always these people who want to get more power and more control. There's obviously a global elite. I'm sure the New World Order. Hopefully they don't find me, right? But I'll tell you right now, that's not how the world works, man. I've been to China, I've been to Japan, I've been into Europe, and I can tell you a lot of good people. Was really fun, but there's always some types of people who are just hateful, and there's always power struggle, and it's sad, man. I wish the world wasn't that way, but that's not how we live. Double trouble is Trump's idiotic slogan. All right. Samuska doesn't exist. People get drunk, stoned, and kill each other, man. Well, that's true, but I don't drink, and I don't smoke, and I'm not going to kill someone unless I have to. Trust me, I've hunted. I served during a time of war. I'm not saying that I don't have the ability to, protect and defend the things that I love. You have to as a man. But what you also have to do is realize that love is very important. You wanna never resort to violence unless you have to. And typically the people that I know who are the most violent, savage, vicious people are typically soft-spoken, and they don't want to disrupt their peace because they know the capacity of what they're willing to go. But you kind of have to have people like that. Nothing worse than weak people who will just be controlled by the masses. And that's all I'll say about that. Only YouTube. America is going to get bigger because the Denmark's. Well, yeah, interesting. Well, Canada is surrounded by the United States now, so it would be interesting if Canada joined the United States. I wonder. Anyways, that's a whole nother conversation. I don't want to get my video banned for that. Earth will unite or fail, maybe. Just recently quit drinking and smoking, and I have never felt better. Trump, good for you, Trump. Very good. Absolutely, you're going to feel better. Not drinking, not smoking. The hardest thing to do is face the world sober. If you want to look at someone and you want them to be strong, try to face the world without drugs and without alcohol. Try to be sober. Try to face the world with a smile, knowing what you're willing to do. I'm not saying be weak. I'm not saying not defend yourself, but trying to face the world, right? Sober, to where it gets so hard and you don't want to deal with it, but you continue to fight through. And that's where I think music is the best drug. What I encourage everyone to do is when you feel that when you feel that there's something that you need to express, or there's something bad or something joyful, whatever it is, try to create music. Try to get a keyboard or a piano or a guitar. Just try to make some music. Music is energy. I think music is the best addiction there is. Just play some music, man, and make you feel better. I'm from Greenland and I'm scared. I'm not interested in joining the United States. Jonah, you're from Greenland and you're scared? Well, it is what it is, man. That's above me. I will say this. The way the world powers are, I'm not saying I agree with it, but at the end of the day, it's complicated, man. But at the end of the day, you'd probably be better if it's not the ability to maintain your own independence, it's better to join a team that's at least gonna give you freedom. You know, what do? Try to become the best version of yourself. Focus on yourself, and it will work out. Who caused the universe? Who caused the universe? You are totally liable. Who caused the universe? Well, that's assuming there is a who. So that is a presumptuous assertion that there is a who. Now, I'm not saying there is or isn't a who, but if you go into a conversation with a biased assertion, then there's really no need to make a discussion. Or UK, I think it was an accident in the US. Who would you rather have show up to Greenland? America, Russia, or China? Yeah, exactly. Russia or China is after Greenland. And at least with the United States, you're not getting, well, I can't really say that. Basically, everybody's got their eye on Greenland. Kind of sucks. Well, that's where things get complicated, right? But at the end of the day, keep a good attitude and things will work out. That's all you can do. I would say America in that situation. But I'm an American. If I was Russian, I would probably think Russia. If I was China, I would probably think China, which shows you the difference of tribes in the United States and in the world. Everybody is a tribe. It's tribes versus tribes. Not much has changed in history. It's just tribes are a little bit bigger. There's more population and there's more dangerous weapons. I would say this, make sure you can survive outside if you need to. Just make sure you can survive if you need to. It's about money, not security. It's about both, Jonah. So who started the tribal beef? Human beings always fight for power. I really like if it was truly alone and could seek companions. That would be the best case scenario for you, but sadly, that's not how the world works. People in power seeking more power. Money, security, and resources is what it's about. How many warnings do I give? Yeah, well, so never lose a Rick. So if someone is being inappropriate, say, hey, keep it friendly. Please do not spam. You'll get a couple warnings, and then after that, then you're free to ban them, especially if they're in the chat and they're disrupting the vibe, right? Because I don't want to turn this into a big political talk. Race, religion, and politics can get somewhat sensitive. So instead, let's kind of shift it back to it's a good Sunday, all right? We're having a good Sunday. It's some snow outside in Georgia. This is My Music and Muscle. We're coming up on a 65-minute stream. I appreciate every single one of you. And execution, I can do not. I'm good at taking directions. How many warnings? Greenland. Happy Sunday, happy Sunday. Looks like somebody's hunting. All right, so we have 18 people in the chat, 38 thumbs ups. If you're in the chat, don't forget to give a thumbs up. I do appreciate it. It's very fun. Oh, I just got a text. I'll be right, person. Had to check my texts real quick. I'm a good person to tell what to do. Yeah, well, you know, if you want to be a good leader, you need to be a good follower. And followers make good leaders if they can learn certain methodologies. To lead people, you have to have charisma, and then basically, it's just like business. If you want to lead people, you have to do something by example. You have to be hardworking, and those things really do add up over time. Just work on making yourself better. Very beautiful winter. Thomas, welcome back in. Yes, Thomas. We definitely have some beautiful snow out here, hence why I decided to do the video. Now that, actually, let's do this. Now that Thomas is in here, Thomas knows a lot about music theory. So Thomas was teaching me some music theory the other day. Like it, but a leader is aggressive. Leaders are not necessarily double trouble. No, leaders aren't always aggressive. Do you think 46-year-olds is a perfect time to retire for a male? Nah, not really. I mean, it depends on why you're retiring, right? All right. So 46 years old is the perfect time. I don't know, man. I don't think you should ever retire. I think you should always do something. But if you've been working and you've accumulated a nest egg and you have your investments in the right place and you have a good life insurance policy and you have that, why not? Get a job. Oh, Flames, thank you. Welcome to the chat. Well, actually, I own businesses and I invest and I do remote work, brother. So, if you want to come in here and just hate, you're welcome to talk, man. But look at my other videos, and if you're someone who wants to actually learn how to create residual income, then there's something I can teach you about that. Try to do things that allow you to create residual income and not just have to trade time for money, right? Won't retire till I can't work anymore. That way I can stack my money as high as... Well, it's not just about money, man. It's more about freedom. There comes a point where you get a certain amount of money, and unless you're someone who just has a crazy appetite that has to have things, that's not myself. I'm pretty content with not having to have everything. What I try to do with my money is go travel, reinvest. If I see a family who needs help and they're not doing well, I might help them. I'd prefer to help other people around me. But if it's what you want to do and never retire and stack your money, then by all means, go do that. That's absolutely wonderful. But I would say create residual income. Do a job, or if you're working with your hands and you can't create residual income, do something with your hands that allows you to make good money. And instead of buying a bunch of stuff you don't need, invest that into an index fund or rental property. Learn how to invest in dividends and learn how to make a tool that pays you when you're not working. You should be making money even when you're sleeping. And if not, and if you can't make money while you're sleeping, then you don't have your money in the right places, especially if in the United States and you have access to the stock market. Dollar cost averaging into an index fund tied into an IUL or a long-term whole or short life policy, taking that and then having an estate. In the United States, you have the dream to be able to do that. Not every country has that ability. So if you're in the United States, seize that opportunity. Very minimalist, but personally, honestly, yeah, okay, so Trump. Well, that makes sense. Okay, if you're a minimalist and you like to see the numbers grow, cool. And some people like to see the number go up. I feel that. And yeah, I think I'm more of a minimalist myself because the more stuff that you own that you have to take care of, the more time commitments that you have. And I don't like committing my time to a lot of things. That's the opposite of minimalist. Maybe you're naive and delusional. No, that's not the opposite of a minimalist. So if Denmark doesn't own Greenland because a ship landed there 400 years ago, why do you own your land, believe it's Choctaw land? I have no idea. That's why you're single. Okay, don't know what Matt. That's be why you're single. Okay, well that's an assertion. The USA is king. Yeah, I do believe that the United States is the leading power in the world, unless we're. The only question is if with our relationship with Israel. That's always it. All right. Commitment issues. All right, Matt. Definitely not. But what I'm going to do, since you're not contributing anything into the chat, we're going to report you for spam. Yeah, Matt, you're welcome to say anything you want, but when you keep typing like that, all it does is make me not be able to read the other comments. So, see you later, brother. Yeah, you're welcome to say anything. USA is doing Russia bidding. Could be. Or it could be the United States has ties with Israel, and it could be a huge thing with that. That's a whole nother subject. But again, you guys keep wanting to go down these political holes. Just to be fair, I'm not the best person to talk to about this stuff because I'm not the most educated. So I'll give you my opinions, but at the same time, I want you to feel free to talk about anything. So, yeah, so Mind, Music, and Muscle, talking about music, that is something that I would really. AJ White, I'm doing well, thank you. We should take Canada? Well, that's an interesting conversation. You ever Gisaku so hard? And let's see. We are going to report pornography, sexually explicit content. Well, bam, okay. And you are gone. Bryson Gray and some decent music. So when I say talk about music, I'm thinking more about music theory. I'm kind of more of a music theory nerd. I like to compose original music. So if Thomas is in the chat, I think I figured out something. Thomas was talking about the harmonic minor, the melodic minor, and then the natural minor. So you basically have a minor scale, which is the 6th degree of the aeolian, is of the modes, which is aeolian, which is 2 1 2 2 1 2 2. So what I have realized is if you just take a mode and then you just take that mode diatonically up and down, you actually create some cool chord progression just from diatonically doing that. Any concerts you'll never forget? Bryson Gray. Yeah, I've heard of that. My first concert was the Charlie Daniels Band, the CDB. And I guess the other concert, I saw Eddie Van Halen's son, Wolfgang Van Halen. But interestingly enough, my creative process to write original music involves studying little bits of pieces of music in here, but I'm really trying to use my ear and nature. When I'm outside and I hear birds chirping, I try to recreate sounds and noises that I hear on the instrument. So a lot of what I do is, I guess you would call it atonal music. I'm just trying to use the instrument to play simple melodies and chords and try to create inspirational emotions for the viewers. And then I play some boogie woogie and some rock scales and stuff here and there, but I really like music that keeps people at peace. Trump, thank you very much, 47. Come back in. Go sit on the river and go fish. I hope that while you're fishing, you have a lot of good time to have some thoughts, because when you fish, you get to be by yourself and be at peace and get time to just be with yourself. I say I make music? When you say make music, as far as an audio engineer or making beats, I don't do that. What I like to do is take a chord progression and a melody and combine them together. And by combining them together, I like to create little licks and melodies. And, I've written some songs and stuff, but it's just basically a form of expression. It's just me connecting with the universe, and then exploring sounds. That's kind of what I do. But if you tell me to get on the dolls or do all this stuff and do everything in the technical side, that's not me. That's something I'm trying to learn more of, because about 20 people have messaged me and said, hey, I wish your music was on Spotify. So my brother, who's an audio engineer, he is going to come up here on Friday one of these days, and he said he would show me how to hook up my keyboard and everything, and then, maybe then I'll try to get into that. But some of that stuff is a little bit above my head, just with all the other stuff that I do. Sometimes, especially with the streaming now, because the streams are just, it takes so much time and so much energy to continue to come on these streams for hours at a time and engage with 20, 30, 40, 50 people, have conversations, remember people, keep them uplifted. I didn't realize how much effort this was going to take. So we're still going to try to continue to do it, but it's definitely more exhausting than I thought. But that has been 76 minutes of streaming. I think that is a good stopping point. As much as I love to stream, I do have other stuff to do for the day. So thank you for your time. Guys, I will see you next time. If you're in the chat, thumbs up. Make sure that you come back, like, comment, share, put the notification bell. I'll try to stream again as soon as I can, but now it's time to go eat and do some other things. Stay good, guys. God bless, and I will see you next time.